Hello, fellow star seekers. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my report, Astrology This Week. Hello to my YouTube viewers, and hello to my syndicated podcast viewers with my podcast, Astro Kisses with Annie Botticelli. I really appreciate all of you giving me feedback that you love me doing these weekly reports. And so here we are, third week going, continuing on. Just going to give you a quick overview of the flow of what we're going to do, and then we'll just get right down to business. This is for the week of January 20th through 27th, 2025. This is for all signs. From the 20th through the 27th, we're going to have the moon flow starting in Libra and ending off in Capricorn, and a lot of goodies in between. So we're going to go through the moon flow each of the days to understand what you may experience, how to best use the energies, and what to watch out for. We're also going to highlight at least two major aspects this week to note and tell you what you may experience, how you can best use them, and what to watch out for. We'll also talk about this week from the bigger picture perspective with some bigger cycles that are going on and how you may experience this week as part of those bigger cycles as well, and what you can do with that energy. So let's start with the moon flow first. Now, the dates that I'm giving you for this moon flow are approximate because it will shift depending on your time zone. But what's important to note is the general flow of energetics from one sign to another over a couple of days. It's only 2 to 2.5 days that the moon is in each sign. So you'll see this flow of certain things coming up and then them shifting into the next expression and then into the next expression. So understanding the flow of the week will take away the need to know the exact date that you may experience these on, because we're only talking about a week here, so we know it's all going to be close and within this time. Okay, so we're already going to be halfway through the moon's movement through Libra as we start out the 20th. And this is going to, the types of things that you will experience now is this deep focus on relationships and balance and harmony. And you may feel more sociable or drawn to aesthetics or concerned about your personal appearance or your reputation or how you're being viewed, or your general aesthetics in your surroundings. There may be this little need to just spruce things up. Now, when we talk about moon cycles, they're so fleeting, but they are very, very present. And the more you pay attention, the more you will notice that this is happening, where you get like on something for a few days and then it shifts. And, that's the flow of the moon. The moon represents our deepest needs, our quiet space, our internal reflections, and how we experience things subjectively. So, so it's through that lens that all of this will occur. When the moon's in Libra, best ways to use this consciously, actively, is to engage in partnerships, to take them up to the next level, to be more present in them, to seek to resolve conflicts, and to seek to experience appreciation, basically, for the things that are already present, as you may look for solutions for the things that are not quite where you want them to be. Also, it's a time to seek that beauty in your environment and do your best to kind of improve what it is that you look at each day. And maybe just take a quick evaluation of the things around you. Is the view of where you're usually sitting, or where you live, or in your office, or in your car, or whatever it is, matching who you feel you are and who you want to be? Are there little ways that you can make adjustments, like by putting up something pretty that you cut out from a magazine, or just something that brings you joy when you look at it? Something to watch out for during these days, the early days in this week, the 20th, 21st, into the 22nd, is indecision or over prioritizing others' needs at the expense of your own. Sometimes the deep dive into partnership can bring us a little bit out of balance with the things that we need. All right, so then a few days into this week, around the 22nd, could be a little different depending on your time zone, the moon shifts. Okay, so that moon in Libra stuff that we're talking about is there. The moon is in Libra. Then it will shift into Scorpio, and it will change very much this emotional mood. So some things you may experience here are emotional intensity, very deep introspection, a pull towards what would be transformative for you, or the study of esoteric topics or psychology or mystery. You may just go on a mystery bender, either something you're watching or something you're reading. The need to go deep into intimacy or into the otherworldly experiences will definitely be highlighted at this time. secrets may be uncovered, and deeper truths may surface, and your world of money and shared resources may come up very, very strongly. Some really good ways to use this energy is to dive into emotional healing. Get some insights about yourself psychologically. Even listening to an astrology report is very much honoring this Scorpio space, because it's asking the questions of how our psychology affect our behavior and affect our experience. Other things to use this for are uncovering hidden aspects of yourself or hidden aspects of a situation, or going into negotiations that are private or quiet, and evaluating your financial sector and your deep relationship space with your partner or with your work, collaborators, or with your family, especially if you're financially entrenched with your family. Something to watch out for during this time is excess jealousy, or moments of overwhelming jealousy or possessiveness, or fixating on negative emotions. This Scorpio energy is fixed, and it spirals in, and so that can bring you into an emotional abyss, and even if it's for a short time, you may be taking a deep dive into that abyss space. Okay, so then in the days around, let's see, the 24th and the 25th into the 26th, and possibly even a little bit into the 27th, for some of you, we've got the moon then moving on into Sagittarius. And that's completely different. So some things you may experience here are a draw to adventure, whether it's through watching an adventure series or actually taking a little trip or making some headway on planning a really big, major, adventure that you want to have in the future. There may be a boost to optimism or a cheerful outlook where, there was something other than that before. You may have a burst of a desire for freedom or exploration. You may feel like more philosophical or curious. Sagittarius also rules teaching and learning. So you may find that you're going on an education bender, or that you find something that you're interested in studying. I will actually talk more about that here soon. And then in the last days of the week, the 26th, 27th, and beyond that, the moon will then move into Capricorn. You may experience in this time a quick couple of day focus on discipline, getting back to business, pulling in any aberrant or excessive things from the Sagittarius energies, a focus on responsibility, a little dip into some long-term goals, which will very much be aided by Saturn and Venus still being in close proximity. This whole week will be minded this way because Saturn rules Capricorn, and the moon in Capricorn brings a similar energy as when we have a Saturn aspect. So, and Venus rules money and relationships. So there could be a serious tone to this week, or there could be a fruitful tone to this week where work that you've done works out really well, or that you get some projects done, or that you're asking these kind of questions that involve strategy and your long-term goals. And even though we are still in the midst of the Mars retrograde until February 23rd, Jupiter is going to go direct in the first few days of February, around the 3rd or 4th. And that waking up process is already beginning. So as we're progressing through January, Jupiter wants to wake up. Last week, I likened this to a sleeping giant, where it takes a little while for that big body of the giant to actually get up once he wakes up. But really in January, he's starting to wake up. And then as we switch over into early February, he will get up and start moving around, okay? But you will be feeling this readiness for action and forward movement, even despite the fact that we're still in this Mars retrograde. And very imminently next week, we will start the Venus retrograde shadow period. I will talk about that more next week, but you're still going to feel this, this ambition, this focus on the future. And this does represent a nice time to start to make some movement in those areas. Best use of this energy is to work on practical tasks and to set goals and to address career-related matters, reflect on your ambitions, see what's sustainable, see what's possible, see if you need to work more or work less, see if you need to be more responsible or less responsible. Some things to watch out for here are emotional detachment. When you start focusing on the numbers or the logic, the emotion can come out of it. And also look for an overfocus on strategy, where you get your brainwave state all messed up from the hyper focus on not being in the present moment. Yeah, so the Capricorn energy can be very reflective to the past, to learn past lessons and projecting into the future. So finding your center throughout these various moon opportunities, is always an opportunity that you have. Okay, so now let's talk about some of these aspects that are going to be profoundly affecting you at this time. And the first one is one that starts out, I'll go in order of the time frame. The first one, bam, right on the days before the 20th, on the 20th, the days after the 20th, we've got the Sun and Pluto in a conjunction. This is a big deal. This happens once a year. The Sun has, a year orbit. So once a year, it will get to whatever point that Pluto is at. Pluto moves super slow, so it's there kind of waiting for it when it gets there. And that time is now. Whenever the Sun is near anything, it amplifies the energy, and it elucidates the energy, and it brings light to it. And Pluto is about the hidden world and hidden agendas in your inner world. So there's a lot of light added to those areas. Some things you may experience with this transit are a powerful focus on transformation. It's, really focused on empowerment, uncovering hidden aspects of yourself, whether it's a hidden gift or a hidden block or, something much deeper. Things like innovation and collective power may arise. So the energy of Aquarius, when we roll into this whole equation, has to do with community. It has to do with groups of people and you combining as part of a tribe or as part of, a group of like-minded people sharing a common goal. It's a very social energy. So there could be something very big socially happening. And this is virtually or in person in your community, something like that. So you can really use this. Wherever Pluto is involved, it's like having your own personal atomic generator where you can accomplish a massive amount in a very short amount of time. And at the same time, there are things you have to watch out for. So some of the best ways to use this are to embrace the change that wants to happen and harness the energy, harness this power, amplify the power with your consciousness. Sometimes people get scared away by the word consciousness, but it's really not just a metaphysical term. It's just doing something on purpose. The words that we use for consciousness, meaning like expanding our conscious awareness and conscious evolution of humanity, all really just comes back to purpose. Doing something on purpose is consciousness, and not just being Pavlovian and, having an automatic effect from something that may be from your childhood or maybe from before then or maybe genetic. It's just kind of an awareness of where your motivations and your behaviors are coming from and doing things intentionally at that time. It's really living life on purpose. So embracing the change and harnessing the energy for this personal growth. And, basically it's all about uncovering your deepest potential. And you have a great doorway here to step through to go into the next level of empowerment. And it's usually through releasing what no longer serves you. Whenever Pluto is involved, this has to do with something that has outlived its usefulness or its time, and something that may pass on. Even if you felt like something was useful for you, if it's passing along out of your control, which sometimes happens with Pluto because Pluto, rules control and power and powerlessness, and the feeling of empowerment or being disempowered. It's this whole play with power and how you're navigating through your use of your power, how you can use it in better ways, and how you can navigate around healing when other people are not using it in the best ways. Other big things to watch out here are power struggles, obsessive tendencies for sure, and a resistance to necessary change. So there could be some stubbornness that comes with this. Pluto rules Scorpio, and Scorpio, as I mentioned before when we were talking about the moon flow, is a fixed sign. So there is sometimes this need to change, this push to change, but this resistance to change that's coupled into the whole experience. So, you'll really be feeling this before the 20th, on the 20th, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and then it will start to fade out. As I said, the whole week, look for notable things coming to fruition with love, money, things like that, confidence. And you can use this energy to get stuff done, practical stuff, taxes, you know, looking into things that just need to be done financially or things that need to be tended to, or some discipline involved in spending or budgeting or strategizing or with how you are in your relationships. Now, as the week progresses, the influence that is going to be most prominent, besides this one, which will, the Saturn Venus, which will be here all week, is as Venus moves forward in Pisces, it will get close to Neptune and start influencing there, but that will be more connected next week. So we'll talk about that more then. But you're going to see an aspect between Venus and Uranus, the surpriser, the the zap that wakes things up, the things that arise out of the blue, for better or worse. But because this is a nice aspect, this is a 60-degree angle, which is full of opportunity. I call it the ingredients on a counter aspect because you may be given tools to make something great, like a pie, but the ingredients won't convert themselves into a pie. You have to do that work. So something involving money and love and confidence and maybe even design and aesthetics and your confidence and your assuredness may get a zap in a good way. Like you have a sudden insight about something that's been holding you back, or sudden confidence that makes you go for something that you've been trying to get, like a raise or, a loan or something that you really need financially. You may all of a sudden have a readiness where you go out and get that or try to get it, or it just comes into you, zap, lightning bolt zap out of the blue. Something else that energetically connects with the energy of Uranus is surprises. And these could be happy surprises because of the nice angle. So a surprising opportunity for connecting with somebody, creating together, collaborating. Surprise financial windfalls. Windfall is a big word we use with Uranus when it's in a nice aspect. There could also be things involving your relationships and your values that may feel refreshed or inspired or have a new insight or a different way of looking at things. And since how we view things changes how we experience things, you could have a different insight about the same situation you're going through, and it could suddenly feel different because you have a different way of looking through it or looking at it. So you may have a sudden healing where, something that was heavy for you has now been lightened. Some of the best use of the energy here is to embrace spontaneity. Different than this Saturnian aspect happening all week, which is not spontaneous, it's disciplined, it's, steadfast. This Uranus aspect that will really be, building throughout the week, but you'll mostly feel it the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, as the month progresses. Well, as the month progresses, but also for this report, as the week progresses, you'll be feeling that more towards the end of the week. So especially the 25th, 26th, 27th, and even the 28th. The best way to use this is to embrace this spontaneity and to actively explore new forms of self-expression, of ways you can do Venus-related things that we talked about, different ways of connecting with people, and just being open to unexpected joys in love and finance. I often talk about the reticular activating system, which is this mechanism of the brain that filters things out. And I always am really, really keen on educating how this is one of the big links between the metaphysical idea of manifesting and the physical, tangible, logical, physiological way of manifesting, is that if your filter is alerted that you are trying to do something through affirmation, through various other things, then that part of your brain that makes that filter can stop filtering out things that would be good for what you're trying to accomplish. There's a discernment process that goes on with that system, that when you make it known that you're trying to do something, that's why if you need flooring, you all of a sudden see there are flooring stores all around you that you never saw before. And you say, gosh, why is that? That's because you let your reticular activating system know you're looking for flooring and it stopped filtering them out. That information wasn't helpful to you when you weren't looking for flooring stores. So things like that, it's like, if you let your being know that these positive sudden changes can come in through us talking about this, through you keeping it in your awareness, that can let your reticular activating system be on high alert for these unexpected opportunities for joy in love and finances. Some things to look out for are maybe the slightest bit of impulsivity, maybe some idealized expectations or spending, but overall it's a very positive transit. So this week is a little bit lighter compared to the weeks where we have something notable with the moon, like a new moon or a full moon. Next week will be the new moon in Aquarius, and we'll talk about that. We'll also have Venus going into the pre-shadow transit of retrograde. We'll talk about that. Topics I covered here are the things that are most notable for the week, and remembering that Mars is still in retrograde, so it's a time for experimentation, trying things on that have low stakes, but even high outcomes, high potential outcomes. As long as the stakes are low, where you have nothing much to lose with what you try on, and you're not attached to the time frame in which whatever you're putting out can manifest for, then you're completely free to experiment and try things on at this time. And it's a very good use of the energy. And do look for Jupiter getting ready to, well, actually already waking up, getting ready to start that process of that big giant getting up physically, where things in your life that had stalled out towards the end of last year are starting to become active again. So keep an eye out for that. Then I would cycle back around to this topic of Sagittarius for education when the moon gets into Sag, towards the end of this week. That's also going to coincide with my wild promo time. So if you love education and you want to learn astrology with me, you resonate with how I teach, and you want to learn either for your own purposes to help your family and friends or to earn money, this is one of my specialties. I have been earning money exclusively as an astrologer for decades. So, I know how to do that, and I know how to teach you to do that. So if you want to earn money, you'd be surprised. If you can read charts, the places that people will want you to just stop, drop, and read are very surprising. So it's a wonderful gift to have to educate yourself on this. So you can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. And depending on when you're watching this, the promo may already be up, but definitely sometime this week, the promo is going to be active. I think it's going to be somewhere earlier in the week, but you can keep an eye out for beastropro.com. You can also join my free VIP community. You get all of my content early, and you get my eclipse resource page, my retrograde resource page, my zodiac health tips, my 28-day virtual coaching program, and my monthly written star report with my sweet and salty dates. So throughout the month, I'm giving you weekly reports. I'm giving you monthly reports for each sign. I'm giving you new moon and full moon reports. But if you want more than that, and you want a report written early with the dates and my favorite dates and the ones to be most awareful and careful of, then you get that in this as being part of this VIP community. And the way you get that is you sign up at AnnieHelpsYou.com, ANNIE helpsyou.com. And then you put your name and email address in there, and you click receive. You get the welcome letter, and you can click on the archive link and put whatever month you're looking for. So if you're looking for February 2025 astrology, you put that in the search, and you will find my astrology report with the sweet and salty dates. And they're about midway down through that report. Also, signing up at AnnieHelpsYou.com is the best way to not miss any content that I put out, because depending on your venue, I know YouTube for sure does not notify everyone. Even if you've clicked like, subscribed, click the bell, enable notifications, you will not always get notified. And I am posting so much these days, more than ever, really. So I will always email out a weekly summary of the content. And again, you'll get content early when you sign up there. So I hope you'll join me. So this wild promo, it's rare that I have a promo available to the public, and it's even rare that I have an available promo for my VIP community, but it's more rare that it's available to the public. So you get so many things when you sign up for my Astrology Mastery Certification course. It is a certification course that's optional for the certification that you do directly with me. If you think I put a lot into my free offerings, you should see what I put into that course. And you'll basically get every single other course in my school besides this one for free when you register for this course, plus a new secret surprise, never been done before promo. So if you've ever been wanting to sign up for this course, this would be the time to do it. Right? So just keep an eye on beastropro.com. It may be there already depending on when you're listening. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll be back to you soon. Bye.